Last evening, the eyes of the lacrosse world landed on San Diego with a pageantry of a world championship on full display. Today, Mitch Baker brings Australia into the party. His powerful shooting has the Aussies with a medal in mind. Meanwhile, England shares the same dream with high-scoring Sean Goldsmith, the man most likely to strike. Day 2 at the World Lacrosse Men's Championships. England and Australia next. The setting is beautiful. You're watching the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital. This evening, Pool A play continues on ESPN from Torero Stadium in San Diego, England, meeting Australia. It is so nice to see you again. Along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, I'm Joe Beninati. These two squads have not played an outdoor, full-field lacrosse game against each other in 5 years. So how long is it going to take for them to understand what the other one's doing?
You know, both of these teams are very experienced. I expect that first quarter to get the jitters out, but then after that point, their game plans are going to be set in place.
Lacrosse teams from 30 different nations have descended upon San Diego, and we expect this to be a tremendous battle for the championship and for the medal winners.
107 total games. That's a lot of games in a short amount of time, but these teams have prepared for it. Canada, Team USA, they lead the charge. Expect for them to be the favorites in that gold medal match. But then you have some X-Factor teams like Japan, and they are currently playing in Pool B.
Folks, you could not ask for a much nicer evening to play lacrosse. Aussie fans are ready. Stay right there with us. We'll turn them loose right after this. Absolutely no doubt who they're rooting for. England against Australia. Pool A play, the men's championship in World Lacrosse. The opener for these two sides. The United States and Canada began the tournament with a low-scoring win for the Stars and Stripes. Today, England looks to beat Australia for the first time in its World Championship history, dating back to 1967. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you on ESPN. The officials are Rob Gross, Nick Schmidt, Tyler Mikulashevsky, and Keith Glock. To the face-off X to get things going with England in red, sending out Tom Bracegirdle to take the draw against Australia's Tim Grant. We're off and running. A picture-perfect night for lacrosse in San Diego. Parsons Quintio gets bumped there on the outside. Andrew Baxter, 24 in the red. Courtney, he plays angry and aggressive.
Two things that you want right there in your players. Somebody who's going to leave it all out on the field. These two teams have matched up quite a bit, Joe, but it's often been times one team's favor over another. Without question,
Throughout their 16 prior meetings in World Championship play, Australia owns a plus 155 goal differential over England. But we should tell you the last 3 meetings between these two in World Championships, full field outdoors, have been decided by 3 goals or less. Australia has the first offensive possession there in the gold. Swing it on around for Matt Wood, chemistry lab technician, operating with a lacrosse ball now for his Australian side. If you are new to World Lacrosse Championship play, no shot clock. 6-on-6 here at the offensive end of the field. It can be a deliberate offensive game. Panting inside. That quick drive knocked away as Matt Wood had a quality opportunity. Denied there and cleared by Will Baxter. England wants to run. Tom Hallam brings it ahead. Long stick midfielder. Gets it into the attack third, and he'll settle in for England's first offensive set. Back behind the cage, 50 in the red, is Christian Scarpello, the son of head coach Pat.
Joe, you said it best, a very deliberate offense. We just saw a potential push for a fast break. England had numbers, but choosing to slow things down a bit, let everybody have a touch on the ball before they run anything. They want to see what kind of defense they're up against.
Scarpello picked up on the perimeter by Ashbeat Dennis. As England settles, work it back into the cross of Mike Pomfret. He'll be a headache for defenders. This is a powerful midfielder who gets north and south in a hurry. Dan Watson subbing in. England looking to break the seal on the scoring in this matchup with Australia. Threatening the cage, guarded by the Aussies. Sean Aaron tonight, number 1 in the gold. Sean has lived in Australia now for some 10 years. Pomfret on the go, butting into Donnie Howard. Physical-minded short stick defender for the Aussies, 43 in the gold. Who plays collegiately in the United States at Boston University.
There's one thing that we've taken note of. Last night, the matchup between Team USA and Canada, the referees are letting them play. It's a very physical game on the field, just as we had seen again.
Collins from the angle. He scores.
A lot of tough and defensive plays out there, but Tim Collins, number 9 for England, he's the captain of this team. He leads by example, and that's exactly what you want, putting the first goal on the board for Team England. Just about 5 minutes, not quite into the game so far. First possession, that's absolutely what you want to do for your team. First offensive possession, first offensive goal.
Back to the face-off X. Collins on the board, just shy of the 4-minute mark, and Courtney mentions the time that's running here at Torero Stadium. In the first 3 quarters of regulation play, the only time the clock will stop on dead ball situations will be in the final 30 seconds of each of those frames. The final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter will be stop time. England having troubles clearing. Mitch Baker steals. Baker wheels in, fires, and he's turned aside again by Will Baxter. England looking to push it. Eric Coburn in transition. No numbers advantage as the Australians get back in the hole defensively. England on the board first, following the lead of its captain, Tim Collins, who was the youngest player on the England side back in 2018 when the World Championships were last contested in Israel. Nick DiCaprio, who played collegiately at the University of Michigan. And Courtney, it's odd for me to see him with this cross in his hand. As a Wolverine, he was a vicious defender.
Now that's the benefit of being in the international game. We see a lot of players who play multiple positions. Those who are versatile tend to do the best.
Sean Goldsmith, North Carolina Tar Heel this past season in NCAA play, a brilliant outside shooter. He puts the swim move on Howard, feeds it inside, that gets away from DiCaprio. Whistle, and it'll stay possession for England in the red. Christian Scarpello will bring it in off the end line. No shot clock once again in World Championship play. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is presented by Rady Children's Hospital. Scarpello feeds. DiCaprio with room. He'll fire. That's flexed aside by the netminder Sean Aaron. Closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the field on a shot, gets possession. This one stays with England.
Great quick hands reaction by Sean Aaron in goal for Team Australia. Fortunately, England was able to run that ball out on the backside.
17-year-old Hugo Peel has the ball. Hugo subbing in for an injured Dan Jones, who was lost to the English side just before this tournament began. Peel, throughout the training camp, though, was earning rave reviews from the coaches. They instantly popped him into the lineup when Jones was known to not be available.
After the Hofstra scrimmage, it kind of wasn't even a question. He did so well and really proved himself that he's capable of playing at this level.
Good read there on the outside. The pickpocket turned in by Lockie Russell as Aaron looks to clear now for Australia. Unlike the college version of full field lacrosse, there is no time limit to cross midfield. No failure to advance in World Championship play. No harm done. No problem for Chris Moffitt as he looks to connect the dots with Cal Gibson. That pass is too high. It's a turnover against Australia.
In Australia, they don't have any shot clocks. When they play for their local clubs, it's all with just a clock every quarter, just as we're seeing here in international play. So I'm a little bit surprised on how they're quite pushing the ball offensively in transition, as opposed to just making the smart, the easy play, rather than the quick, fast one.
Scarpello operating back behind the cage. He'll be the feeder. His dad, the head coach, Pat, says of Christian, he can be a quarterback for this team, both on offense and defense. Goldsmith off the roll dodge. Feed it inside. Scarpello scores!
Sean Goldsmith, number 3 in red. His vision as he's dodging, his eyes are up the entire time. He just finished his collegiate career with that bonus year at UNC as a Tar Heel, and Scarpello right there capitalizing on that vision.
The English side off to a very good start here in San Diego, California. England on top by 2. Back after these messages. Plenty of interested bystanders watching England and Australia in Pool A play. Goals from Tim Collins and Christian Scarpello have given the English the advantage. As we look at the rest of the teams in Pool A, there are 30 teams here, 6 groups of 5.
Looking at this, as we had mentioned earlier, Team USA has got to be the favorite. They walked away with the gold in Israel over Canada. However, Canada is nipping at the heels, and you better know that they remember that loss back in 2018.
Australia plays against the United States on Friday, while Team England gets to see the Haudenosaunee at 4 p.m. The Haudenosaunee Nationals yet to play. That'll start their World Championship campaign. Hilditch, 29 in the red, lethal outside shooter. Setting it up for England. Subs coming in, Tim Collins in that first midfield unit for head coach Pat Scarpello. The offensive coordinator, Mike Bartlett, pleased with what he's seen so far from the guys in the red jerseys. Scarpello, as Courtney mentioned, with that right knee brace, injured in recent PLL action. Stepping in, Watson, feed it on the outside, Collins, keep it hot back behind for Hilditch. Circle it up again, Dan Watson, who's normally controlling things at X. He's working from the top side now against Howard. Shimmies into the lane, here comes the help. Slashing in there defensively, Ashby Dennis. Collins off the sweep, measured on the outside by Millsap. The most skillful of Australia's long sticks, number 44 in goal. Scarpello, beautiful face dodge. Fires, Aaron makes the save. Rebound right back to Scarpello.
I'm still amazed at how he's able to move right now. As we watched practice earlier in the week, he was kind of struggling, hobbling a little bit, but he looks pretty good to form with just playing attack.
Getting underneath there. Lost the ball, Hilditch, before he could let that one fly. Aussies will play clear with Moffitt, teaming up with the netminder, Sean Aaron. Aaron and his netminding partner, Ryan Spark. The Aussies nicknamed the two of them the stepbrothers. They are interchangeable, and head coach Glenn Meredith says, you know, they're starting to look like each other. They've been around each other so long. It was the netminding tandem for Team Australia 5 years ago in Israel. Again, no failure to advance time. Plenty of time for Australia to clear the midline, no worries. Swimming to success there is Tom Graham.
A little bit risky. They've struggled clearing the ball the last 2 times. However, this one successful despite having to run through a lot of traffic. Tom Graham holding on to that ball with that excellent swim move, as you had mentioned.
Nothing on the board for Australia, better than 10 minutes into this opening quarter. Swinging on around for Campbell McKinnon as he plays catch at the top with Matt Houston. Mitch Baker, who plays collegiately in the United States at Rutgers. Very bright future ahead of him on the international stage. They expect him at one point to be a dominant type player. Houston on the go. Switch the point of attack. Baker left it inside. To this point, English netminder Will Baxter with a couple of saves and a couple of sparklers in there. Gets help from his defensive 6, and away they'll go. In transition, looking for the fast break. And on the run, it's Pomfret. Pomfret on the feed. Step down move. Off the head fake. Goldsmith snapped it high.
Credit Tom Hallam with that pickoff on the defensive end, number 15 in red. Very heads-up play.
Both sides balance up 6-on-6 at the offensive end. 2-0 for England. Both of those strikes on the board before the game was 7 minutes old. Collins and Scarpello for the team in red.
Joe, defensive players who have that anticipation, they can do well in the international game with the slower, more deliberate play. You have an opportunity to see when those passes are coming, and then you're ready and able to bite on them a little bit sooner than if the ball moves as quickly as it does in the NCAA game.
Sam Dexter, another two-way midfielder for head coach Scarpello. Bumped into Howard. Donnie Howard, 43 in the goal. A very interesting story, Court. A Russian, Australian, American. Goldsmith wheels in. Draws a double. No shot clock in this World Championship tournament. Goldsmith rejected by Aaron. Follow-up hit the post. Goldsmith, the last two offensive possessions with brilliant looks, and denied by the Australian keeper and the goalpost.
As an offensive player, you got to be a little bit frustrated. You're getting the looks that you want. It's just a matter of finishing the ball, see the cage, sight it. He was able to get his own rebounds twice.
Braden Panting brings it ahead for Australia, 5 in the gold. Remember, running time until we get to 30 seconds left in each of the first 3 quarters. Just now checking into the 2-minute mark to go in this opening frame. Matt Wood. Coach Meredith tells us this guy's a Swiss Army knife. Wood on the go, bounce shot, eaten up there at the end of the line. Will Baxter has started in good form for England.
I like the bounce shot, changing things up, but the ground is really soft. The grass is short, but it just seems to really die whenever you put that ball low, looking for that bouncer. It's not necessarily skipping off quickly.
Courtney, a short field, short grass field means it's a fast field, right?
Fast field for the feet, but the ball just seems to kind of land and maybe give with it a little bit too much. It's almost
spongy.
Spongy, very spongy.
Now I got you. 80 seconds to go in the frame. Hilditch going to take Moffitt for a little jog back behind the goal. Goldsmith on the outside with Lockie Russell. The youth movement for England. Hugo Peel into the alley. Peel, if you missed it at the top, just 17 years of age.
Youth movement, as you had mentioned, 5 players had just played last year in the U20 World Championships. It's a lot of players just for one team, but again, head coach talked about this experience that they're gaining. They're ready for the senior level stage. Dexter
off the 2-man game, knocked into the ditch there. A flag comes down. It'll be penalty serving time for Braden Panting. 5 in the goal, jogging to the penalty box. Extra man opportunity for England. Hoping to advance their lead to 3 before the end of the opening quarter. Watch number 3, Goldsmith from the top, a brilliant outside shooter. If they can find room for him. Christian Scarpello, change the formation, wide open there. Aaron on the step out makes a good save on the hard shooting Hilditch. Aussie still a man down, looking to clear. Final ticks of the opening quarter. On the move, Melsot being encouraged to shoot it as the horn sounds, ending the opening 15 minutes of play.
A lot of back and forth, as we had seen. Very impressive on both ends of the field. Wanting to have an eye on the clock as the time winds down. England in the lead.
England and Australia. Thank goodness for both of those sides. They're done practicing. This is the real thing in the World Championship, with England on top by 2. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. Lacrosse lovers unite. It's the World Lacrosse Men's Championships Pool A play between England and Australia. And if you're just tuning in, goals from Tim Collins and Christian Scarpello have given the guys in the red jerseys the advantage. Holding Australia without a marker in the first 15 minutes. In this, the first World Championship in the sport of lacrosse to take place in California. We're in beautiful San Diego, where the temperatures are starting to chill a bit, Courtney, and the lights are starting to take full effect under the cloud cover. Australia in goal. Lucas Parsons-Kitio on the move, feeds it inside. Great look for Baker, and a split save turned in. Baxter was there, and there's a crease violation against the Aussies.
Australia's playing hard. They're playing fast. They're going to the cage with speed. They're taking a lot of risks, which you like as a player. You want to see that your team is willing to push the ball, make some changes. But in the international game, it's an advantage when you slow things down a bit. That's the second time in these fast break type situations that they haven't come up with the goal.
Courtney, England's the only team that's on the scoreboard so far, but head coach for England, Pat Scarpello, said of his netminder, when he's on, he can steal a game. And right now, Will Baxter has performed beautifully through the first 16 minutes of this game.
He's made a lot of one-on-one saves, and one-on-one meaning with the shooter. No defensive player in front of him, so he is most definitely carrying the defense right now on his back, making some saves, standing on his head here and there, and that's what you want.
Danny Hilditch spots an open Christian Scarpello. Scarpello, a PLL champion with Water Dogs a season ago. One of the leaders for England. This is their captain, Tim Collins, who started the scoring in the first 4 minutes of this game tonight. Just about 2 minutes into quarter two.
A little bit of a battle going on inside as you see Daniel Watson is being tightly marked by his defensive player. He's given a little bit of space right now.
Scarpello maneuvers in against Ashby Dennis. Dennis, a smiling assassin, in the words of his head coach, Glenn Meredith. Feed to the inside, gets away. That surprised Hilditch. It turns out to be a turnover back to Australia.
Good job defensively, Australia, really getting on the hands of their attackers, meaning making it very difficult for them to get a feed or shot off. It's exactly what you want to see as a coach.
Australia placed 4th in Israel back in 2018. This is the 14th edition of the World Championships. Sean Aaron, the netminder for the Aussies, getting clearing help from Tom Graham. He'll skip across the midline.
Joe, we can hear the communication up here in the booth. We were listening to the Australians say who they wanted to run and go get that ball. A lot of options. They want to make sure that they're not having those same first quarter jitters where they were struggling to clear the ball a little bit offensively.
Matt Houston has it in his possession. Houston, who plays collegiately in the United States, in Maryland at Loyola University. Missed a bunch of time this year. Broke his arm during the NCAA season. Mitch Baker finds Tom Graham. Next in line off the sweep there, Campbell McKinnon fires, and Will Baxter makes the save. Baxter finds his brother, Andrew. They look to clear, ball down. In hot pursuit is Cal Gibson for the Australians, but England is able to survive that ride and clear. Just 2 lonesome goals on the board, Court, both of them coming before we were 6 minutes old.
This is turning out to be quite the defensive battle, just as we had seen last night with Team USA, Canada. Low scoring for a lot of high-powered offense.
Big face dodge inside, bouncer, score! Mike Pomfret.
Mike Pomfret, this is his second Worlds. If you count U20, make it 3. Showcasing why he can be such a big headache for opposing defensive, that big wind-up fake, as he did that nice little face dodge, protecting his stick, and almost kind of got shielded from the goalkeeper. That little standing pick, teammate inside, that he was able to still shoot around. Oftentimes, getting in a goalkeeper's way, very beneficial to the shooter.
Plenty of hugs and high fives on the sideline, as you can tell. A whole bunch of attaboys coming to Mike Pomfret. 3-0 England. Australia gets the draw, much needed possession, going to the goal. Graham fires. Hey, there he is again. Will Baxter has more than a handful of stops in this opening half.
Again, I like their speed, their tenacity. They're going hard towards the cage. Just not necessarily the shot selection. I'd say that was kind of one of those gimmies.
England has another offensive crack at it. Long stick defender Tommy Kirkland staying ahead at the offensive end. Kirkland, who's been nursing a foot injury in advance of this tournament. Christian Scarpello wants the pick from the towering long stick midfielder Vavginiak. There's a whistle. Officials will huddle. Simultaneous fouls, the offside and the illegal screen. As a result, England in the red maintains possession. 3 goals for the English side, back to back to back. Collins, Scarpello, and Pomfret.
I've been very impressed with the officiating. Sometimes it can be hard for officials from a lot of different countries to be on the same page, but they got that one spot on.
Courtney mentioned 107 games in this tournament before it's all said and done with this event. If I counted correctly, there were over 60 different officials representing a number of nations around the world that are going to be presiding over this game. As Aaron makes another stab there on the jumper from Goldsmith. Both goalies have been locked in pretty well to start this World Lacrosse Men's Championship.
That's a lot of officials, as you had mentioned, almost 60. And I did see some females out there as well. That's not uncommon in a lot of the European countries.
The whistles blare out. A timeout is called with 8:07 to play in this first half. Christian Scarpello and Team England off to a 3-0 advantage. Courtney, in the first 22 minutes of this game, does the tempo favor one way or the other?
Right now, it's most definitely favoring England. They're taking their time. They're patient with the ball. They're shooting it well. I'd say probably minus Sean Goldsmith. He could take a few of those back, but he's having great looks at the cage. I just think Australia really needs to slow things down, play more their style. Again, they don't have shot clocks in Australia, so they're quite playing in the tempo that isn't used to what they've done in the past. It's slow it down, relax, give yourself some time. There's no need to take risk. We're just in the second quarter.
Plenty of time in the classroom for both of these teams. You'll see assorted coaches taking their offensive and defensive sides to task during this timeout. Team Australia, their head coach, Glenn Meredith. Assistants, Rod Ansell, Peter Brown, and Glenn Morley. The head coach for England is Pat Scarpello. Mike Bartlett, Ben McAllister, Matthew Brancaccio, his assistants. And if that Ben McAllister name sounds familiar, long time, 4-time World Championship goalie for Team England.
That's just a few.
It's called staying power. 3-0 for England in red. Collins, Scarpello, and Pomfret on the board. Just past the bottom of the hour here in San Diego, California. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor. Shout out of thanks for all the men and women in our technical crew for all of their efforts. These are busy days for our TV team, and we look forward to joining forces with them all the way through the championship match.
This first possession is going to tell a lot. Coming out of that timeout, you just were with your coaching staff. Talk about slowing that ball down, making sure they have the right looks on cage and are finishing it well.
Lockie Walker works it in back. Isaac Cahill inverted, midfielder who'll see some time at attack. Mitch Baker attacking from the top on a throwback for Panting. Skip a man on through, trying to find a seam, a window in that English defensive side. Baker wants the pick set by Lockie Walker. Panting picked up by Collins. Brilliant two-way midfielder for Pat Scarpello. No shot clock. Australia going through its offensive paces. Another two-man game. Baker a long way from the cooker.
They're looking to get that defense shifting as they maneuver around, have some wheels on each side.
Matt Wood thought about it. Didn't pull the trigger there. We drift below 7 minutes to go in the opening half. Connor McDonough getting his first touch, 22 in the goal. Mitch Baker playing a little hide and seek against Dan Smith. Interior, score! Does it count? Yes, the officials say yes. Flag hits the turf off the finish from McDonough.
Two young guns back to back. Mitch Baker feeding Connor McDonough down on the crease. Looks like the defense was a little bit confused for a second. His eyes were up off of this pick and slip. That's not who was open. It was a fellow young one right on the crease. Foul pushed to the back, and they're going to be a player up to start this third quarter.
And finally, Australians' jitterbugs are heard from. Connor McDonough stopping the bleeding for Australia. England on the board with the first 3 tallies in this game. McDonough, Gibson, Cahill, all referred to as the jitterbugs by their teammates and coaches.
Some very affectionate nicknames that the Australians have going on for all those young newbies on the team. Those young ones just putting that first goal on the board. Mitch Baker with Connor McDonough. The fact that they were able to draw a foul inside that penalty, they're going to be player up.
Eric Coburn, long stick defender, will take the draw opposite of Tim Graham. Coburn does have the ability to face off. Coach Scarpello informed us of that. We expected to see Daniel Madeley, Tom Bracegirdle, and Coburn at the X before the night was through. Coburn tried to goose that one into the offensive zone. It's taken up off the turf on the run by Tim Graham. Australia, a chance to put goals back to back now. A shade more than 6 minutes with which to work in the first half.
The fact that England almost came up with that face-off, being a player down without a wing person, was pretty impressive, but that lack of kicking that ball out, hitting it with the stick, Australia able to come up with it, and this would be huge and able to close the gap to just within 1 if they're able to score in this man-up possession.
Matt Houston sharing the ball with Matt Wood. Straight away, Houston's pass is deflected. Nice read there by Andrew Baxter. At the midline, it is Andrew Baxter who comes up with a loose ground ball and finds Christian Scarpello, who's triple teamed. Cahill off of a wild scramble, flag down, and whistle blown. They're going to get Andrew Baxter for the slash.
And Joe, I think even before then, it was a lot of chaos going on. But Scarpello, when he came over for that ball, England wasn't quite onside, so they...
England getting a timeout called. They'll establish their man-down defensive strategy. Just tuning in with us on ESPN, Collins, Scarpello, and Pomfret. For the guys dressed in red, put England out in front by 3. Just a few moments ago, Connor McDonough, playing collegiately at Towson University in the great state of Maryland, was also on Team Australia's under-19 squad in 2022. He's put the Aussies on the board, and now about to go man up for a minute with Andrew Baxter gone for the slash. Baxter, his last hurrah for Team England. This is his 4th World Championships.
Very impressive when you can have that long of a career, especially not just as a goalie, but a field player. Your body's been through a lot. And when you know that this is that last one, your last really big international tournament, you're going to leave it all out on the line.
England on top by 2. We mentioned these sides have not played a full field outdoor lacrosse game since the World Championships in Israel in 2018. In that one, England lost to Australia. They squandered a 6-4 lead. Ryan Huns had a couple of goals for England. The Aussies prevailing 7-6. And as we've mentioned, Australia has never lost to England in 16 matches.
That's a lot riding on your shoulders. It's a statistic that England most definitely doesn't forget. I doubt that Australia walks into this game saying, we've won every one. We don't have to play hard. Any given day, anyone can win. But England is most definitely gunning for them. They know what it's like to lose a lead as the game continues on. They still have a 2-goal lead at this point, but that gap could be closed with this man-down situation.
The Pool A opener. Pool A used to be known as the Blue Division in World Championships past. Aussies in goal, set up on the extra man. Mitch Baker. Topside, Lockie Walker. Matt Wood always close by. They'll change the formation. Walker changes the point of attack and closes in. Wood challenged on the outside by Dan Smith, perhaps the best of the England defenders. Wood whistles one right on. Will Baxter makes the save. Long rebound belongs to Australia.
Despite that shot being from a distance, he has some heavy heat on that. He's a quality shooter. It's a lot of power. And that was a nice save by England's goalkeeper. Not a gimme at all.
Australians maintain possession. Look away inside. Score! Matt Houston, point blank.
Mitch Baker again with the assist. That's 2 for the night for him. As he was moving that ball quickly, find the open player. Matt Houston. Again, you had mentioned his broken arm that he had during the NCAA season, but Mitch Baker right here, almost that no look. A lot of composure inside for Matt Houston, number 11 in gold. Mitch Baker, I love the no look. It's very unassuming.
Courtney, you played a lot of defense in your career at the University of Maryland. What does a look away pass do to a defender?
You kind of relax a little bit. You're not quite set and ready. You don't see it coming. You're not prepared. You're ill prepared, in fact, because you think they're going to be moving that ball one more time, and it's in a completely different place than what you're expecting.
These two teams going back and forth. This game's on the teeter-totter. England had the 3-0 lead. Australia now looking to make it 3 goals in a row for themselves in the waning stages of the opening half. Torero Stadium, campus of the University of San Diego. On the isolation, Graham feeds, just plucked out of the air by Cahill. Ball down, Campbell McKinnon to the rescue for the Aussies. Running time until the final 30 seconds of the half. Then on a dead ball, the clock would stop. Lockie Walker measured back there by Tommy Kirkland. Least moves to the interior, force feeding the crease. Cahill fires, scores!
Isaac Cahill, the beneficiary for some shifty dodging by his teammate. As we see that initial dodge, Lucas Parsons, Quintio, got a step on his defensive player. And then once inside, patience. He didn't just pump that shot right away. He paused, he took a look around, and Isaac Cahill, with that ever so slight hesitation, faking the keeper out and tying this game for Australia.
Procedure off the draw against Tim Graham gives England the ball in a 3-3 deadlock with a minute to go in the second quarter. Cahill, who scored against Canada and Israel in Israel 5 years ago, gets himself on the board and brings Australia into a tie. It's been a game of many goal-scoring runs. No shot clock in this World Lacrosse Men's Championship. England, if they choose, could have the final possession. Good moves there on the outside. Dan Watson forced back, drawing the double. And then the pass is picked in expert fashion by Sean Aaron. He anticipated that feed beautifully. 20 seconds left for the Aussies to get back on the board and perhaps take a first half lead.
Now if there's ever a time to push it, now's when they want to take that risk.
Donnie Howard down the sideline complaining that he was slashed. And now the timeout is called by Australia.
Australian coaches hoping that a little bit of time gets put back on the clock. They were calling for that.
Remember, under 30, it's supposed to stop, not be the running time that has gone through the first 14 and a half minutes of each of these first three frames. Time to diagram a last-ditch effort in quarter two.
And as coaches draw these plays out offensively, you're looking for a few things. Who's a good dodger? Who can maybe draw a slide? How can you move that ball quickly? Find a good inside finisher. We just saw it happen. Isaac Cahill, an excellent finisher inside. Wouldn't be surprised if they look to him.
That's head coach Pat Scarpello there. Middle of your screen, eavesdropping on the huddle defensively for his gang. Team Australia with, for the moment, 7.3 seconds left in the half. An Aussies group that placed fourth in Israel in 2018. Also placed fourth in Denver back in 2014. Both teams back to the playing surface. An additional 1.1 seconds was put on, Courtney, so it's 8.4 facing English netminder Will Baxter and his defensive gang to stave off the Australians. Matt Wood looking to the interior. Cahill guarded on the outside. Lockie Walker floats it inside for Baker. It's deflected down. And that will do it for the first 30 minutes. Australia and England, the Sharks and the Lions, battling back and forth in this 3-3 affair. Cahill, the last man to strike for Team Australia, sending us to the halftime break, tied up at 3. Courtney and I have more festivities for you in just a few moments. Folks, you're watching the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital. Torero Stadium on the campus of the University of San Diego. 30 minutes complete. And the Pool A opener between England and Australia. Team England jumping out to a 3-0 advantage. The Aussies reeling them in with a 3-goal spree in the second quarter alone. So with 30 minutes to go in regulation, once more, it's England and Australia in a tight-knit game. We mentioned the last 3 games between these two nations in World Championships play have all been decided by 3 goals or less.
England has most definitely been closing the gap, getting closer and closer to Australia, but Australia holds that 16-0 advantage. And if there's something that's going to fuel you, if you're the team in red, that's most definitely it. To be the first team to knock off an Australian team in a world championship, what a big feat.
Courtney, we saw a pretty deliberate first half of play, as we did with the United States and Canada, those two superpowers battling an evening ago. But Glenn Meredith, the head coach for Australia, said they want to push the ball. They don't want to be too fixated and focused on X's and O's and half-field sets, but it sure looked like there weren't very many running opportunities for either side in the first 30. Coburn subbing in at the face-off X, and that's easy pickings for Tim Graham, although there you see what a long stick defender can do from the face-off battle. Once that ball gets on the ground, they get vicious. England in red, Australia in gold. Ball is in the cross of English captain Tim Collins. Collins, Christian Scarpello, and Mike Pomfret, the goal-getters for England in the first 30. McDonough, Houston, Cahill responding for Australia in quarter number 2. Goldsmith gets underneath, getting to the cage. Just lost the handle there as Aaron challenged off of his line. Hilditch fires. That one ricochets off of Aaron in the post and stays out. Aussies come a running, looking for the fast break. Pitch and catch for Lucas Parsons-Quintio. Parsons-Quintio dancing in, distributes. Lockie Walker over the top. No shooting room there for Cahill. He'll back it out. 6-on-6 at this end. Inside the attack box for Australia. Just a reminder, no shot clock in these World Championships. Vavzhiniak lives these days in Vancouver. I'm envious. I'm also envious of 6'4", 220. Vavzhiniak, super strong, a personal trainer in his downtime.
Joe, you're not far off of the
No,
6'4".
I'm right there on 17 phone books. Almost 2 minutes into quarter 3.
So they've most definitely slowed things down, the team in gold right here. If this was the first or second quarter, we most definitely would have seen them running and gunning a little faster, especially in that transition play.
Aussies from the top. Mitch Baker can be a prime feeder. Going in, there's the pass to the interior, just lost it off the top of the cross there of McDonough. Recaptured though by Cahill, and the offensive possession for the Australians continues. Panting on the move. Swing it back behind to Baker against Vavzhiniak. Big man keeping Baker at stick's length. Swing it back for Matt Wood. Fills a lot of different roles for head coach Glenn Meredith. Long range, Lockie Walker sends that one high.
After that second quarter, Australia getting into their groove a little bit more. We see their eyes up, they're beating their matchups.
Baker sprints off the roll dodge. Great trail check by Vavzhiniak. Follow-up flick did not go for McDonough as the flag hits the turf.
As we take another look at this, looks like they're trying to see, was he in the crease or not? Mitch Baker potentially pushed. And it looks like that's what it's going to be called.
Legal procedure call has been assessed. Officials tonight, Rob Gross, Nick Schmidt, Tyler Mikolashevsky, and the chief bench official is Keith Glock. Simultaneous fouls have been ruled.
Illegal procedure for Australia, unnecessary roughness against Team England.
Australian possession. Time continues to tick in the 5-on-5 play. Shade less than 4 minutes into the third quarter. No goals on the board just yet in this frame.
A 5-on-5 really opens up the field. 6-on-6, it's a little bit tighter in there. So as big as you can spread that defense out. And now they get their 6-on-5. This is what they've been waiting for.
Lockie Walker, one of the leaders, one of the captains for Australia. 24 in the gold. Teaming up with Matt Wood all on the outside. Same for Braden Panting. Change the formation. McDonough will skip it on around. Panting from the top. Feeds it on through. No shooting room there for Cahill, the last man to score late in the second quarter. It's 3-all. Try it one more time with Houston. Picked up on the outside by Tom Brace-Girdle. Short stick defensive midfielder and face-off sub for head coach Pat Scarpello in England. No shot clock. Long-winded possession time now for Australia. Saw the United States an evening ago cinch away a victory over Canada with very lengthy possessions in the fourth. From the outside, Houston on the dodge. Feed it in. Score! Cahill snaps it home.
Credit Matt Houston with the assist. A very quiet player, but that quick ball movement, and Isaac Cahill with the quick release, I like it. Almost catches the goalkeeper, not quite prepared as soon as he receives it. Has that quick little snap of the wrist, getting rid of it quickly, and that is why they call him that inside finisher, the best one for Australia.
Isaac Cahill, day job as an emergency room nurse. Strong as an ox, they say. He won't be backed up by anybody. Cahill, the leading scorer for the Australians in this game, a 4-goal unanswered run. Back in 2018, Nigel Morton led the way in goals for the Aussies. Finished the event with 14 of them. Tim Graham maneuvers away from Coburn. Australia with its first lead on the night. Graham going to the goal. Trail check there by Coburn. Racing to the sideline and earning possession for Australia is Isaac Cahill. Another of the jitterbugs for the Aussies. McDonough, Gibson, and Cahill, all with that moniker. Pass down low, McDonough, he scores! Hiding at the crease, and the Australian bench is fired up.
Connor McDonough, number 22 in gold. This is his second of the night. Initiation. Lachlan Walker finding him right down on the crease. Looks like a little bit of a defensive miscommunication for England. Australia benefiting from that. And the young ones, again, capitalizing for this Australian team.
Their spirited play, lifting the guys in gold to now a 2-goal advantage. The Australians, who came over to the United States a little bit earlier than most of the other squads in this event, had a training camp in Chula Vista, ironing the kinks out as there's a timeout called by England. Halfway through quarter three, the tenor of this game has changed. It started all England. It's Australia in control for the moment on ESPN. England head coach Pat Scarpello has been pacing on the sideline, his team falling behind Australia 5-3. Courtney, in a tournament that's bound to showcase the top men's team the world has seen, and their sports vying for inclusion in the LA Olympic Games in 2028.
That's right. The lacrosse sport has been in the Olympics twice before, 1904 in St. Louis, 1908 in London, but it's been an evaluation period. It started with the World Games last summer in Alabama, and it's continuing on through the World Championships. So from June 22nd through July of 23, this evaluation happening now. Obviously, all the lacrosse fans are hoping the Olympic Committee says they like what they see, and it could potentially be in the Olympics, which is the ultimate goal for LA 2028.
Some physical play, some stick swinging. Going to lead to a slashing call. Time running until the final 30 seconds of this third quarter. Then it would be stop time on dead ball plays. In the fourth quarter, the clock would stop with 2 minutes and under. Australia, man up, trying to make it 6 goals in a row. Fell behind to England by 3 and have bounced back neatly. Matt Wood playing catch. Long outside drive, sizzled high. Matt Houston let it go as he eyes his next chance. Pomfret in the box for England. Most of the extra man tends to flow through number 9, Matt Wood. He'll set a little screen. Cahill, a 2-goal scorer tonight. Same for McDonough. Up top, Lockie Walker. England back to even. Good defensive stand there. Bob Gignac made the steal. And then he'll find Race Girdle, looking to run in transition. Christian Scarpello, the head coach's son, played collegiately at Rutgers. Seeing some time at attack for most of the game tonight. He's been listed as a midfielder, but coming off of that PLL injury he sustained recently, his head coach and dad says, let's try and cut down on the ground you have to cover, keeping him at the attack end.
And that definitely hurts for somebody who you rely to be a quarterback at each end of the field. He's only able to impact one side right now, but Team England doing pretty well defensively, able to come up with that stop when they were a player down.
Scarpello's back behind the cage. Stalked there by Ashby Dennis. Collins sharing the ball. Hilditch off the roll dodge. Good defensive work waiting from Panting. Dennis peeking out on Scarpello. Looking to finalize at X off that swim. Wraparound came right on through. Ball loose. England still with it. DiCaprio off the hitch. Good defense by Donnie Howard.
This defense, they are not biting at all. They're sitting low. Their sticks are out in front.
Goldsmith yet to hit pay dirt. Bullying his way to the inside. He's tackled there. That will be a penalty against Australia. The bespectacled sniper there wearing his glasses underneath the face mask.
That is his signature look. As he is powering through this defense, we definitely see why a penalty was called against Braden Panting for Team Australia. And at this point, giving England an opportunity to be man up, hopefully close the gap as this third quarter is winding down.
Wouldn't surprise me if England tries to get Goldsmith a chance to take that missile-like shot of his. DiCaprio back for Goldsmith. DiCaprio lets it fly, and that's easy pickings for Sean Aaron. Aaron, the former All-American at Union. Ball down. Will Baxter there to help. England in red, trailing by 2, less than 3 minutes to go in the third.
Australia just has a 2-goal lead. They can't afford that sloppy play, turning that ball over. That's characteristic of what we saw early in that first quarter.
Dan Watson for England, finding Scarpello. DiCaprio waiting, playing midfield for Team England. He lives in the UK. Very, very good shape. Coach Scarpello said it's a promotion for me to play you at midfield. in this World Championship.
I'm not sure if he sees it that way.
He wanted to be an attackman. Doesn't every long stick defender in college want to play attack someday?
They're all shooters.
2 minutes to go. Dan Watson finding Scarpello. Dennis has had that assignment most of the night, Ashby Dennis. Real good communicator and back for the Aussies in gold. Moffat's hung up. Hilditch turns and fires. That didn't get home. Hilditch gets right into ride. Australia puts it in the clearing cross of Tom Graham, and he motors to midfield and beyond. Final 80 seconds of the third. England had the first 3 goals, Australia the last 5, most recent of which is the second of the game from Connor McDonough. Howard sprinting against DiCaprio. Donnie Howard rolls back into a double team, and it's taken away up off the carpet neatly by Hallam. Trouble here, chased out on the sideline by Kirkland. The goalie, Baxter, there as the outlet. Will Baxter showing his stick handling chops as England clears.
These defensive battles have been great to watch at either end. Obviously, 2 goals have been scored in this third quarter by Australia, but each team not giving up much.
Christian Scarpello on the roll dodge. The sun has set. Lights taking full effect here at Torero Stadium. Temperatures now, I'd say, in the high 50s. Cooling off significantly after another beautiful day. First full day of World Championship play. Scarpello, neat face dodge. Ashby Dennis, good recovery on defense. Scarpello off the re-dodge. Snuffed out, and the flag is down. The whistle blows.
Joe, there's 0.2 seconds. Curious if they're going to add. Looks like they're saying 3 seconds will be added back to the clock at this point.
Officials in conference. Late third quarter. After that exchange, Scarpello denied at the doorstep. Waiting to see if time will be put back on the game clock, showing just 2/10 at the moment. England, a man up, will hold on to the ball, maintain possession for the start of the fourth. Australia has rallied. The guys in the gold jerseys picking themselves up off the mat early on. England sprinted out to a 3-0 advantage. The Australians with the last 3 goals of the opening half, the only 2 goals of the third quarter. And as a result, the gang in gold has the 2-goal lead with 15 minutes to go in regulation. Stay right there, we'll continue. More of the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship, presented by Rady Children's Hospital. Lacrosse fans, listen up. Rady Children's Hospital, presenting sponsor of the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship, is the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, and they're ranked among the top 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. Our thanks to Rady Children's for all of their efforts in advance of this, the 14th all-time World Championships festivities, the first back in 1967. Team USA has won this World Championship title 10 times. Pass to the interior, Goldsmith had it deflected away. Team USA and Haudenosaunee we've seen in the stands, checking out their fellow Pool A combatants, England and Australia. Team Canada rounding out the Pool A division. Christian Scarpello directing traffic for England. Scarpello on the board. It was his tally that gave England a 2-0 lead. Wheeling in there against Lucas Parsons Quintio. stout short stick defensive midfielder for Australia. Pomfret back behind the goal. Hilditch working it against Moffat. Danny Hilditch has not had the chance to uncork that lethal shot of his. He had a 7-goal game against Puerto Rico in the under-21 tournament in Ireland a summer ago. DiCaprio's been held in check. England probing on the perimeter with Pomfret. And right there with him, Jeff Millsap, the court jester in Glenn Meredith's estimation. The head coach for Australia says Millsap's cracking jokes, keeping it light. Right now, the Aussies are soon to be a man down. Whistling drive from Pomfret, rejected by Aaron as Australia goes a man short. Racing to the sideline. The reason the players do that, one of the reasons, is as soon as you get to the box, the penalty time starts. Remember, the clock is running.
Lucas Parsons Quintio, wearing number 96 in gold. Super physical, super tough. He takes the game personally, as his coaches said. He was not giving any space to his offensive player right there, but a penalty awarded. Critical man up now for England. The ball in and out of the cross there of the cutter to the cage. That was Sam Dexter. He couldn't find it. Millsap has it, and he'll bring it across for Australia. Playing a man down short-handed here. Graham fires. That's punched away. Loose ball taken by Wawrzyniak. He'll spin away from traffic, calming things down and getting it to Andrew Baxter. Baxter, another of the guys for England who plays with a chip on his shoulder. This English side that has never beaten Australia in World Championships play. 17th all-time meeting. Less than 12 to go in regulation. There have been a couple of overtime games between these two in their all-time series history. Andrew Baxter helping on the clear. Motioning for Scarpello. Beautiful pickpocket made by Tom Graham. Now in transition, they look for numbers. No break opportunity, no fast break for Connor McDonough, who has 2 tallies tonight. He'll slow things down. Time an ally for Australia, protecting a 2-goal lead. No shot clock means you can take the air out of the ball, quote unquote, if you like. A little bit of fatigue setting in as the game progresses. It's in the 4th quarter. Decision making a little bit clouded. Even though things are slowing down, the offensive sets, a lot of patience is being thrown out there. We've seen turnovers when each team has been clearing the ball. Not quite the best decisions on when and where to pass.
Snaking his way ahead comes Braden panting. Still plenty of time, Court. The deficit is just 2. You wouldn't expect England's defense to be overly aggressive now, would you?
A lot of time. 10.5 minutes. The final 2 stopping. Defense has been playing quite well. They haven't given up a lot.
Lockie Walker throws it over the top for Matt Wood. Wood shuffles in on the dodge against the short stick defensive midfielder. That's Cam Major. Major, undersized, but he plays a huge game. Head coach Scarpello said, "You're going to love this guy." This on the run. Bullseye. Matt Wood.
Matt Wood. He's a great shooter who fills a lot of roles. Extra man offense, man down defense. I like that little 2-person play. Looking like a little give and go. He was working well with Braden panting. Just got his defensive player a step behind. Saw an open lane in front of him, took it. Nice shot on the run. Extending this lead now by 3. They've doubled up the score that England has.
Bottoms up for Matt Wood. have one on me in his first time in the World Championships. Wood cashes in, and it's a 6-goal run unanswered for Australia. England had a 3-0 advantage when Pomfret was on the board early in the second quarter. Since then, all for the gang in goal. Feed inside, tough catch, score! A brilliant finish. Cahill, so tough to handle around the crease.
This is quintessential lacrosse. It's a game of runs straight from the face-off. Lachlan Walker finding in tight Isaac Cahill. We talk about him having some big goals. He had 4 goals in 2018. Good mid-range shooter, but this was in tight. He was right on the doorstep. He finishes anything in and around that crease well, and now you maybe want to get things going a little bit if you're England. You can't have too much time going off that clock. 8 minutes left. They need to make a move now.
And England has not used Daniel Madeley, to my eyes, tonight at the face-off X. They had gone mostly with the race girdle and more recently with Eric Coburn, the long stick there, to just muck it up off the draw. So Australia gets possession again thanks to Tim Graham. The lead, the largest it's been all night, 4 for Australia. Midway mark of the fourth quarter. Tom Graham will play to the corner. Cahill has the hat trick. It's picked up by Tommy Kirkland, another coach on the field type defender for England. Campbell McKinnon, rare call of his name tonight. McKinnon, the first from the Altona club to ever play for senior men's national team Australia. Was on that Sixes team that you called in Alabama a summer ago. Houston gets inside, bouncer, he scores! Matt Houston in Australia lengthens the lead.
Joe, the defense was getting spread out. They were pressing out. They wanted to get that ball, but when you press out, that leaves a lot of space for the Dodger. And Matt Houston taking advantage of that. Nice, easy challenge to the inside. Not a lot of players around, getting in slow. And the lead extends for Team Australia.
All 3 goals in the third for the gang in goal and in control in San Diego. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championships presented by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. They are hopping for joy right now on the Australian side. After falling behind by 3, the Aussies have put 8 straight on the board against the team in red, taking command of this game down the stretch with little less than 7 minutes to go. It starts at the face-off X for England. They have to have possession here. They'll go with Brace Girdle against Tim Graham. The hold call against England. Aussies have possession, and now I would expect them to dramatically slow the tempo.
Slow the tempo. When the referees think that they're stalling a bit too much, they will hold their arms up.
We haven't had one of those, have we yet? No stall warnings to
Not
my
tonight.
remembrance.
Not tonight, no. But we've seen about 1 or so each game as the tournament has begun last night and then again today. So referees well aware if a team is slowing things down too much and not even making any attempt to look at cage.
Field in this World Championship tournament limited to 30 nations. Australia and England in Pool A. Matt Wood, dynamic midfielder for the Aussies, turns it back to Lockie Walker. Mitch Baker He'll motion to clear out against Major. There's the stall warning. Australia has to keep it in the attack box now. Stall warning on against Australia. Baker hatcheted there by Major. Mitch Baker will drag it behind and below goal line extended. Major, no double team help coming to him just yet. 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Time's a wasting if you're pulling for England. Andrew Baxter peeking out against Lockie Walker. Nicely timed takeaway check by Baxter, and exactly what the doctor ordered for England. Brace girdle to clear. Great catch through the midfield by Dan Smith. And an offensive opportunity now for England, and they need one desperately here.
Andrew Baxter, a true veteran for Team England.
Inside, at the doorstep, nothing there. Taken back up off the turf. And clearing, Ashby Dennis. Slashing call to come.
Bit of frustration for the team in red. It's definitely not something that they need to be a player down, a penalty as they are trying to get this ball back. Now they have to do it with one less player on the field.
England squaring off with Haudenosaunee, 4 p.m. on Friday here in San Diego. Australia gets the United States at 7 tomorrow. Bob Gignac sprints along for England. Taking matters into his own cross. Spins inside, scores, but there was a whistle before the shot. There was no shot there. The whistle was blown. The timeout was taken by England.
We've seen that happen a time or two. Coaching staff wanting to draw things up, get a good solid possession out of things. And then in hindsight, you're like, wait, I take it back.
Head coach Pat Scarpello in the middle. Center screen now, giving his team the marching orders with less than 4 minutes to go and trailing by 5. That is a tall order ahead of the team in red.
It's a daunting task, but when you think about just one goal at a time, rather than saying, we got to score 5, guys, it's one goal at a time. Do your work. As of right now, they're going to be a player up on the field, and just believe.
Score hasn't dampened their spirits. This World Championship tournament delayed by a year due to COVID. I thought it was interesting that head coach Glenn Meredith mentioned since COVID hit, approximately 1,500 less players playing lacrosse in Australia. His team rallying to an 8-3 advantage right now. England has possession of the ball. It's in the cross of Mike Pomfret. He'll try to be bulldozing his way to the goal before too long. No time for England to dawdle now with 3.5 left. Pomfret drawing a double team defender. Danny Hilditch held in check and off the board today. Exchanging with the captain, Tim Collins, who was the first man to strike on the night. Things look good for England in the first, I'd say 16 minutes or so. And then Australia stepped on the gas. Hugo Peel on the move, teenage midfielder. Scarpello swinging around for Hilditch. Time continues to tick. It'll be stop time under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Sharp angle bid just sent high. Collins looking skyward. He missed it by an inch. .220 left in the fourth. Collins will invert against Donnie Howard. Gets topside. Howard flattens him. The shot goes wide. They battle for it to the sideline. The officials will keep it in England possession. 3 seconds away from stoppage time.
Now we're in that under 2-minute mark where clock will stop. But they don't need the clock stopping at this point. They just need some quick goals.
Off the front swing. Bouncer, score! Sooner or later for Goldsmith. The end of 8 unanswered goals for the Aussies.
Sean Goldsmith with his signature glasses right there. He's had a lot of shots. Just 2 have fallen on the night. But that's a very important one because he could start a roll moving. It's all about getting possession and moving quickly towards the gauge. Minute 42 left. Can it be done? Yes.
Just over 100 seconds to score 4. Movement early. A violation gives England the ball. Step by step for the guys in red. No time to waste. Collins knows that. Very coachable in the estimation of Pat Scarpello, his bench boss. Hugo Peel shares it with Pomfret. Time ticking down to 1:14. Getting under that shot drive there. Good save by Aaron. And he pounces on the loose rebound. Big stop for Aaron against Collins. Sean's gone the distance. Both netminders have played the full length of the game for their respective nations. In the final minute now, final 45 seconds, Australia in the Pool A opener for these two. Round robin pool play. Australia getting the United States tomorrow. England plays Haudenosaunee on Friday as well. Games you can see on ESPN Plus. We get the timeout called by Australia.
Andrew Baxter, number 24 in red. He was the one who made Australia cough up the ball last time. Australia head coach Glenn Meredith seeing that matchup with one of his young players against Baxter. Mitch Baker had the ball. Smart time to call a timeout just to make sure you're on the same page.
Mentioned Australia against the United States on Friday. Back in the 2018 games in Israel, the Aussies lost twice to the Stars and Stripes. The United States beating them badly, 19-1 and 14-5. This evening, if you're just tuning in with us at the tail end of this one, smiles on the faces of the Australians. Battling back from an early 3-0 deficit. They control this game 8-4 with just a little less than 28 seconds remaining. About to improve to an all-time record of 17-0 in World Championship Senior Men's play against England. Mitch Baker has the ball in his cross, looking to run for cover now. With Braden Panting, 15 seconds to go. Race girdle against Panting. Australia, an 8-goal spree that does the trick. Turning a 3-0 deficit all in their favor and on the way to an 8-4 win in San Diego this Thursday night.
A huge comeback for Australia after they went down by 3 goals early in that second quarter, rattling off 8. Sean Goldsmith able to help Team England with putting one more on the board here to end the game. They bookended it, but it just wasn't enough for the team in gold. Credit to Australia, never giving up, fighting back, as they say. That's the Aussie way.
8-4 in the books for the Australians. Head coach Glenn Meredith says this group is so even-keeled across the board. They didn't panic at all when England jumped out quickly to a 3-0 advantage. They battled back perfectly. Isaac Cahill with a hat trick. Connor McDonough with 2 tallies before the sun set. And it is Australia victorious in the opener. For the Australians, the offense took time to materialize, but when it did, they showed expert precision. They down England by the final of 8-4. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our technical crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie on top.